Welcome back to New Day Northwest. People living in Tacoma have no trouble listing all the wonderful things about their city, yet there's often this feeling that T-Town sits in the shadow of its bigger, more well-known sister, Seattle. Perhaps we can help with that. A new book, 100 Things to Do in Tacoma Before You Die, uncovers the best attractions and hidden gems. And author Peggy Cleveland joins me now. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for writing this book. I think this is really important because there's still this feeling that Tacoma plays second fiddle. Isn't that why you wrote the book?
I think so. I feel like Tacoma is very under-recognized as a travel destination. There's so many things to see and do here. And people ask me, you know, how could you come up with 100 things? And I had to cut so many things. So there's so many things to do in the area.
Well, I'm sure. As a reporter, I would travel down to Tacoma a lot. And honestly, I think some of the best food in our region is down in Tacoma. So let's talk about some of the things you listed in your book. You used a lot of action words in the book, like drive, hope. But the first one is driving a Model T Ford. You can actually do that?
Yes, you can at the LeMay at Marymount. It's a great car museum. And Harold Lemay had a car collection of over 3,000 cars. So this museum is on a huge old military Catholic school, and it's there's just so much to do there. So you can drive the Model T, that's an extra expense, and then you could tour all the cars.
You can actually, so this is Saint from Evening driving the Model T. I mean, I would love to drive that. I mean, I feel like most of the streets and driveways in Seattle are built for a Model T, so I might be really good at it. Environmental excitement. This is something you just told me about. Dune Peninsula Park. Why is this such an important place for people to see?
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize the Tacoma waterfront was one of the most polluted superfund sites in the 70s. And it was so polluted and it inspired Frank Hebert to write his classic Dune.
Wow.
And so now it's been totally restored. It's beautiful parks, restaurants, shops. And then the Dune Peninsula Park was named for Frank Hebert. And there's also
the novel Dune.
Right.
And the movie that you might have all seen as well. That is so cool. Also, you say get awestruck at the Chihuly Bridge of glass.
Yes, that's incredible. It's probably one of the crown jewels of Tacoma. So Dale Chihuly is actually from Tacoma. And so the bridge has 3 different parts. The Venetian wall, which has some of the largest pieces of blown glass in the world. Wow. And then the Seafoam Pavilion has 2,000 pieces in the roof, so you can just feel like you're under the ocean when you walk through there. So it's really beautiful.
It is so neat. And there's a lot of other museums around there that you all can check out as well. Yeah. Speaking of museums, you encourage people to learn about military history at the Lewis Army Museum. And I understand there's an interesting story about a soldier named Flint.
Oh, yes. So you may have noticed driving down I-5 south, you'll see this iconic white building. Yep. So you don't actually have to go on the base to see the museum. If you take exit 119, you can access it, and there's directions on their website for that. But PFC Flint, the director of the museum's name is Eric Flint, and he adopted a child from China. And so they kind of staff wanted to kind of honor that. So when they were making the name tapes for the different mannequins in the museum, they named that one PFC Flint.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. What a fun little thing to find. You also say, after leaving that museum, to go be enthralled with the rare plants at the Seymour Botanical Conservatory.
Yes, that's located right in downtown Tacoma in Wright Park, and it's a stunning old conservatory. It's over 100 years old, and it just went through a 2-year restoration. So it's got this stunning wall of plants, and you can see carnivore plants and everything. So it's just a really neat place, and it's gorgeous in the summer, but I think where people really enjoy it is the winter on those cloudy gray days. You can go into this beautiful place.
How important is it for you to are you, by the way, is Tacoma your hometown?
It's not. Oh. It's not. It's kind of a little controversial that I'm writing the book because I've only lived there for 8 years, but Reedy Press actually reached out to Travel Tacoma and they invited me to write the book. But I'm from a military family, and so I feel military families are perfect to write a book like this because we have the fresh eyes of a tourist with the insider knowledge of a local.
And isn't it so fun to be playing tourist in your own home too?
It is. I love Tacoma. There's just so much to do. I'm always finding something new. So.
I am so thrilled that you shared this. I cannot wait for you all to check out the book, 100 Things to Do in Tacoma Before You Die. get on it. There are so many wonderful things. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for your
so much. I
time.
really appreciate you having me.